A man will spend months deciding which car to buy. He'll research it, compare prices, read reviews, look at reliability. Think about what it's going to cost him 5 years from now. But when it comes to one of the biggest decisions he'll ever make, the woman he marries, too many men make that decision based on how they feel. He's attracted to her. They have chemistry. He can't imagine his life without her. He believes he loves her. And I'm not saying those things don't matter, but none of them tell a man what marriage to this woman is actually going to be like. Because dating a woman when life is wonderful is very different from building a life with her when life gets hard. And eventually, life will get hard. There will be stress, money problems, family problems, exhaustion, disappointment, disagreements, maybe children, maybe illness, maybe job loss, maybe years when life looks nothing like either one of you thought it would. And that's when attraction won't be enough, chemistry won't be enough, and love will certainly not be enough on its own to build a healthy marriage, because you're not just choosing a woman you love, you're choosing the woman you're going to build your everyday life with. So before you put a ring on her finger, there are 7 things you must pay very close attention to. And the first one might tell you more than 100 perfect dates with her ever will. Number 1, watch what happens when you tell her no. Not when you agree with her. Not when you're giving her what she wants. Not when everything is going perfectly. When you tell her no. But don't be cruel or disrespectful. Just say no. No, I don't want to do that. No, I don't agree. No, I'm not comfortable with that. No, that's not going to work for me. And then watch what happens. Can she hear the word no without treating it like rejection? Can she respect a boundary she doesn't like? Or does no immediately become an argument, a guilt trip, the silent treatment, an accusation that you don't love her? Because if you can't say no while you're dating her, never convince yourself you're somehow going to be able to after you marry her. You won't. A healthy relationship has nothing to do with a woman getting her way all the time. It means a man can have boundaries without the relationship becoming a battlefield every time he says no. Because one honest no will tell you more about a woman's character than 100 yeses. Number 2, watch how she argues. Every couple disagrees. I don't care how compatible you are. Eventually, you're going to piss each other off. The question isn't whether you fight. The question is, who does she become when you do? Can she stay on the issue, or does she attack your character? Does disagreement turn into insults, mocking, eye-rolling, contempt? Does she drag something you did 4 years ago into an argument because she's losing the one you're having today? Does she threaten the relationship every time she's angry? Does she punish you for disagreeing with her? Because conflict doesn't create character. It exposes it. And men need to understand something. The way she treats you when she's angry is clearly connected to her respect for you. I was mad doesn't erase disrespect. Marriage will never eliminate conflict. If anything, marriage gives life a hell of a lot more opportunities to create it. So don't only pay attention to how the good days feel. Pay attention to how ugly the bad days become. Number 3, watch what happens when she's wrong. Everybody screws up. You will, she will. That's life. What matters is what happens afterward. Can she actually say, I was wrong, without immediately adding, but you? Can she apologize without spending the next 10 minutes explaining why what she actually did was your fault? Can she hear that she hurt you without somehow turning the conversation into how much you hurt her by bringing it up, and then playing the victim? And most importantly, does anything change afterward? Because an apology isn't supposed to reset the clock so the exact same issue happens again next Tuesday. Words matter, but behavior is where accountability lives. If every apology is followed by the exact same behavior, eventually the apology means nothing. Pay very close attention to a woman who can explain everything she does, but take responsibility for none of it. Because if she can never be wrong, guess who eventually has to be? That's right, you. Number 4, watch what happens to your independence. This one can happen so slowly that a man doesn't even realize it's happening. At first, maybe she just wants more time with him. There's nothing wrong with that. Then she doesn't like one of his friends. Then another. She doesn't understand why he needs that hobby. Why does he need time alone? Why can't she come? Why didn't he answer immediately? Why does he need to go somewhere without her? And little by little, his world gets smaller. Now, marriage absolutely requires compromise. A single man cannot expect to live exactly like a married man. You've got another human being to consider. That's commitment. But commitment should not require you to slowly surrender every piece of yourself until the only identity you have left is her husband. A healthy woman doesn't need control over every corner of your life to feel secure in it. And a healthy man should never need permission to remain an individual in his own life. So if being with a woman requires you to become less and less of yourself, ask yourself something. What exactly am I being required to give up just to keep this relationship functioning? Because compromise requires both people to sacrifice. But abandoning yourself isn't compromise. It's insanity. Number 5, watch her relationship with money. How she thinks about money. Can she delay gratification? Can she hear, "We can't afford that right now," without treating it like deprivation? Does every want eventually become a need? Does she understand the difference between looking wealthy and building wealth? Because this tells you something important about priorities, impulse control, expectations, responsibility. A marriage takes two people's financial decisions and puts them under one roof. A man can work 60 hours a week and still never get ahead if every increase in income immediately becomes permission for an increase in her spending. And resentment grows very quickly when a man feels responsible for earning the money while she feels entitled to decide how it's spent. So don't just ask whether your financial situations are in alignment. Ask whether your financial values are. Because attraction doesn't pay a mortgage, and chemistry doesn't fix financial chaos. Number 6, watch whether she respects you when she's angry. And yes, this is different from how she argues, because respect goes deeper. A woman can disagree with you and still respect you. She can be furious with you and still refuse to humiliate you. She can believe you're completely wrong without treating you like you're worthless. Watch how she talks about you to other people. Watch what she says about you in front of her friends, her family. Because if you have children with this woman someday, remember, they'll hear about how she speaks about you too. Does she make you the punchline? Does she share private discussions you trusted her with because she's angry? Does she take something vulnerable you told her and turn it into ammunition the next time she wants to hurt you? Because there are things you cannot unsay, and there are forms of contempt that change a relationship. You shouldn't expect her to agree with everything you say, but you should always expect her to treat you with absolute respect. And you absolutely should expect the woman who claims to love you to never tear you down. Love without respect eventually becomes very ugly, very quickly, and no amount of love or chemistry can fix contempt. Number 7, and this might be the simplest one, but I think a lot of men completely overlook it. Ask yourself whether you actually like your life with her. Do you actually like her? Do you like the man you are around her? Do you like the atmosphere of your relationship? Do you laugh? Can you relax? Can you be your authentic self? Can you sit quietly together without something being wrong? Can you tell her good news without wondering whether she's going to find something negative about it? Can you tell her bad news without worrying that she'll somehow make the situation worse? When something great happens to you, is she genuinely happy for you? And when something terrible happens, is she somebody you want standing beside you? Because here's what men forget. Marriage isn't the wedding. Marriage is Tuesday morning. It's grocery shopping. It's sitting in traffic. It's bills sitting on the kitchen counter. It's getting sick. It's losing people you love. It's one of you having a terrible day. It's waking up beside the same person thousands and thousands of times. So stop only asking, how strongly do I feel about this woman? And ask, what does my actual life feel like when this woman is in it? Those are not the same question. You can be wildly attracted to somebody who makes your everyday life miserable. You can have incredible chemistry with somebody you cannot peacefully build a home with. And you can desperately want somebody who is completely wrong for the life you're trying to build. That's why choosing a wife can't only be about desire. It must be about character, values, respect, accountability, compatibility, and peace. A wedding lasts one day. Everybody dresses up. People take pictures. There's music, there's food. Everybody congratulates you. And then everybody goes home. And the two of you live with that decision, maybe for 1 year, maybe for 50 years. So here's what I want a man to actually do before he gets married. Don't manufacture tests. Don't play games with her. Don't intentionally piss her off just to see what happens. You don't need to. Life will give you the information. Pay attention when plans fall apart. Pay attention when money gets tight. Pay attention when you're exhausted. Pay attention when you disagree. Pay attention when you tell her no. Pay attention when you're wrong. Pay attention when she's wrong. And don't explain away an unhealthy pattern because you're afraid of losing her. One bad day is a bad day. One argument is an argument. Nobody is perfect. You're looking for patterns. And while you're watching her character, have enough humility to look at your own, because we're all flawed. But there's a huge difference between being flawed and being disagreeable and insufferable to build a life with. Because you're not looking for a perfect woman, and she shouldn't be looking for a perfect man. You're trying to answer a much more important question. Can these two imperfect people build a good life together? So before you ask, does she love me? Ask, who is she when she's angry? Who is she when she's wrong? Who is she when she's disappointed? Who is she when I tell her no? Who is she when life doesn't give her what she wants? And then ask yourself one more. Who am I becoming in this relationship? Because the woman you date when everything is easy isn't the woman you'll experience when everything gets hard. And eventually, life will get hard. So don't choose the woman you want beside you when life is giving you everything you want. Choose the woman whose character you trust when life hits both of you in the face. Who you marry will either make your years easier or make them unbearable. And remember, being single isn't the loneliest place for a man. It's being trapped in a bad marriage.